Hello followers and welcome back to MrMFretwell Plays Minecraft, and we're here again today just approaching the tunnel system in the lab. And in today's episode we're going to do a couple of little things. The main focus of today's episode is going to be to try that challenge I talked about in the past couple of episodes, but before we do that we're going to wrap up a couple of projects in the tunnel system here from the last episode. Now, episode 108 went live today. Today is March 29th, where I am. And I haven't really messed around with this yet. I'm thinking I definitely want to change it out to the light blue stained glass and perhaps put some water around it on the sides. Maybe not so much up here. I may use a different building block or just regular clay. Well, I mean the cyan stuff, obviously. And we'll probably see how the progress is going on that in the next episode. Now, one thing I did try is I terraformed this cave here and made it all sandstone. I am a big fan of the sandstone block, and I decided to add this lava pillar and kind of retexture the cave itself. It's just a complete copy of the cave. I just replaced it block by block to see what it would look like, and it kind of gives the feel that we're in a custom map, which I think is pretty cool. We're in a very modern base, and I think this kind of shows like we're underground somewhere, but it's a little bit different. It's not like the regular Minecraft terrain. So let me know what you think about that. I may do that in a couple of other areas where there are natural caves nearby. So, then there is this thing, and this thing is one of the things we're going to be working on here in the beginning, and this is a 3x3 door. As you can see, there it is. It opens and closes. Right now, I have only got it hooked up one side. We'll take a look at the redstone for that in a moment here, and we're going to finish that today. We're then going to do a little bit of item repair and things like that, and then we're going to head out and do the speed challenge, and I'll talk a little bit about that as well. So what are we going to need here? We're going to need my silk touch pick for sure. We're not going to need the pressure plates right now. We are going to need some nether quartz to finish up that staircase. We'll do that a little bit later. I'm going to need some repeaters, which I have, redstone. I'm going to grab a little bit more redstone, just so that I've got a little bit more. I'm going to craft up some more red stained clay. This will be useful in other things, not just this particular project, so I'll go ahead and craft all of that into red stained clay. So there we go, we've got that. I've got plenty of cyan. I only really need one stack of that on my bar, so that looks good. We need the silk touch pick so that I can pull some of the glass up. That's the only reason we're going to be doing that. So, let's see here. I do have shears as well. I'm not going to need my shovel for this, I don't think. So, if we copy the design that we did on the other half, we're not going to want wool here, 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 or here. And I will just fill that in with... I need some cobblestone, actually, so that I can fill that in. So the idea with that 3x3 door is that it'll open and then close behind us. This is a very common design of 3x3 door. It's nothing revolutionary. I think the first person to use it might have been Etho. I just did a little bit of research to see how these things are actually put together, as I've never really looked into it too much, and I've never really done one, honestly. So just to save on time for a small project like this, it made sense just to do the research rather than spend time figuring that one out. And even so, it did require a little bit of figuring out for my situation here. So, we want these two rows removing as well, if we want to match the look of the door. And we may tweak this a little bit. Again, I don't want to spend too long on this. This is just a finishing up type project, honestly. So, now what we want to do is put our cyan stained clay in like that, and we want to get our pressure plates down right here. We're going to tweak this a little bit, and we're going to make it a red ring over a soul door out of red clay. Now, where can I break through? Can I break that one? I can break any cobblestone, I know that. Yeah, we'll go back through here. Oop, now I'm going to have to open the door again. Here we go. So, let's put our red clay in where it should be. There, there, there. And there. We did run into a little bit of trouble with the river. I had to kind of work the redstone out a little bit. Ooh. I shouldn't have done that. Why is the door not working correctly anymore? Did I break something accidentally? Up there. I guess I'll bridge up using this. Am I doing that? It's very hard to get around here. I guess there must be a piece of redstone missing there. And, oh yeah, looks like I did, slightly break that. Well, that's fine though. So the redstone for this is actually fairly simple. Let's take a look at that real quick while we're down here. So the pressure plates are right there, these 3 blocks, and we have a line of redstone that goes up either side that goes into these cyan clay blocks. Below these are pistons. They're sticky pistons. And what this is it's a circuit breaker. So it creates a 1-tick pulse, meaning that the piston will only activate once, opening and closing the door. It saves a T flip-flop being in here. I guess a circuit breaker is a type of T flip-flop, but I just classify it separately. I have no real reason for doing that. And all this is just a very compact way of wiring up the door. We have redstone going into here and then down here, and all of the slabs are just for compacting reasons, and it kind of staircases its way up, goes into the back of these pistons. This one right here is going into this block, but because redstone dust in a line powers the one below it as well, that's why that is the way it is. And it's basically just going up there. It's not really a good demonstration. If I can find it, what I'll do is I'll link the little mini tutorial I used as a guide. It's an Imgur album. Oh, we're going to have that now, aren't we? Because it was inverted, so... Now let me put that back as it was. I'm going to break the pressure plate, and then I'm going to put the redstone dust back, and then we can wrap this up here. I don't think I'm quite close enough. Again, I have to be very, very careful around here because of the water. I did put the redstone in. Excellent, so that's the redstone for this. Let's open it again. What's going on with that block, man? There we go. That's got it working now. Okay. So what we need to do for this is where these are is create a very, very simple redstone line, just like what we did before, and feed it into here. We are going to need some sticky pistons, actually. That's one thing I didn't bring. I don't know if I have enough slime balls. I may have to go get some. But we can do the rest of it here, and I can add that later. So, if we're doing it the same way we did, we're going to want a... Well, I guess a full block would be fine there. Go on then. We'll make your mind up, dummy. Just pick one. So we want repeaters there and there, just at the normal 1 tick of delay, and then we want a simple redstone wire. I'm going to add the clay block in there and in there. We are going to need some space above that, so we can add the piston in at a later date. Well, I mean, in a moment here. And we're just going to connect that up. And that should be powered when I put the pressure plates in. Just give me a little bit more room to work with here so that I can kind of move around a bit more freely. Let me see if I do actually have any slime balls. I don't think I do. And the reason we use sticky pistons is so that it gets the block back. Do I have materials for pistons? That's another question. No, I don't have materials for pistons. I must have ran out. So we're going to have to run and get some. And actually, while we're on our way out, what we can do is we can finish that staircase as well. That would be a worthwhile use of our time. So where's my fortune pick? There it is. I'm using the right one here. I only brought 16 quartz for this. I think that will be enough, because there is already some in the box, and I only need, you know, enough for one set of stairs. Oh yeah, that'll be plenty to do what I want to do. So, let's get this whipped up. Right, like this. There we go. And we'll just head back out here. I'll pick up supplies for pistons, and then we'll go back and finish that off. Then, for the second half of the episode, we will do the speed challenge. It's not really a speed challenge, so to speak. It's kind of more of kind of a time trial, I guess is the best way I could describe it. There we go, that's kind of fixed that up. Although, we need to change that out, and I can put the lime clay block back. And let's just jump in the bed real quick, pass the night, and then we'll go and make some pistons, and we will finish up that door. Just kind of finishing little things off that I started off camera to begin here. I think that that would be a good way to start. And that door will be used in the other avenues where we already have corridors built. When I get to those specific tunnels, I only kind of want to do one thing at a time. So, what do I need? I need 2 pieces of iron. I have wood down there, and I certainly have cobblestone, so we don't need to worry about that. And we do need those, and I have redstone. So, I think we have everything now. So let's head back, and let's finish up that door. Oh, and we also are going to do some repairs as well. Get some tools back up to speed here, because a lot of them are they're beginning to run out of durability. Aside from my sword and my bow, my pick is not doing so hot. The shovel is doing okay, the axe is terrible, and the 2 utility picks aren't doing too good either, so we're going to repair my work pick, and I think my axe probably in a moment here as well. So let's skip over this a minute, and let's head back to the crafting table and craft up those pistons. So we want wood. I already have cobblestone in my inventory. So let's get these smashed up real quick here. There we go. And we'll get the pistons, and then we make them sticky. Just add the slime balls on the top. There we go. And let's head back. I have the pressure plates all ready to go. So we just need to break this. It's a bit dark in here. I may slab it all eventually. Put that like that. Nope. And that in there. Okay, so now let's try this out. The redstone line is in the right place. I was worried there that it was in the wrong spot. So if I put the pressure plates down, so it activates the door, which is fine. It obviously needs calibrating, and by calibrating I mean do that, so that when I run through, it closes the door behind me, and we can close that up. So we have now a nicely functioning 3x3 door, if it's a bit noisy. But I mean, it's not a big deal. It probably won't come out that loud on the video, and I certainly think it's a cool effect. So we're going to do a similar door design to this on the other sides, but on the other sides they will be different colours. So I'll probably have yellow, green, and maybe blue. I don't know if there's going to be anything back here or not yet. I've not decided. We'll just have to see on that one. So that's the door finished. So I'm going to drop off some supplies in this chest here as we're done with this little project for right now. I don't need that quartz stair. And those wooden planks, or the glass really, we don't need. Redstone. Put the wool back, that extra quartz, and the quartz block. Stained glass, the red clay, the remaining cyan clay. I just like to keep my chest a little bit organized. Cobble. Repeaters I'll leave in here for the time being. Buckets, I don't think I'm going to need. And slabs. Okay, so that looks good. And I'm going to reorganize my hotbar here. There we go. And we'll get those on the bar. Put the shears up there. We'll just check on the cactus farm before we leave. Not doing too bad now. I'm getting a good amount of cactus for the cyan clay that I'm going to need. I think that possibly one of the next projects I'm going to do is actually dig out that storage room. I know I talked about in the last episode doing the iron golem farm, and that is definitely something that's going to get done. That's the next big build. I mean, that's just digging out a giant hole. I may work on that off camera a little bit and kind of give you progress updates on how that's going, and spend some episodes working on that at some point. So let's head in here, and I need some diamonds and some sticks. So diamonds, and do I have sticks in a box? I know where I put my sticks. I put them in here, and I'll explain this in a minute. So we have 69 levels to spend, and the first thing I'm going to do is repair that pick, because it's my work pick. Normally I would let it run a bit lower than that, but I want to use my levels, and I'll explain that in a reason. I'll explain the reason for that in a minute, is what I'm trying to say. So 33 levels, get worker back, and that's repaired. I'm also going to do my axe. That very rarely gets low. This is a rather once in a blue moon kind of repair. Let's see, axe 33. The anvil is still holding out. That is the very first anvil, if I recall, that I made at the lab base. So that's looking good, and we're back down to 3 levels. So the next thing we're going to do is get my diamond ore out, and we're going to break this down with the... That's the silk Dutch. We want the fortune, and we're going to see how many diamonds we get out of there. So I only have 8. We're going to break these down with fortune. 1, 1, 4, 2, 4. I didn't get the rest of them. Let's see how many diamonds we got. 20. Not so bad. Oh, back in the days when 20 diamonds would have been really significant. I guess we can make some blocks out of these. Stash them away in there. Up to 34 diamond blocks. That's not too bad. Have some other ores in here, but I'm not as desperate to break them down as I was the diamonds. So, now that we've done our repairing session, I know I can only sleep at night. I don't want to sleep. Shears. I guess I can put those in the tool box as well. I'm definitely going to drop these guys off. Those sticks are going to go back in this box. So, this challenge then. This challenge is something I came up with, and I talked about this a little bit in episode 101. And the idea is, every so often, because this base is very redstone heavy, and I am aware that people, well, some people don't like redstone as much as I might do. So to vary it up a little bit and keep those guys who don't like redstone entertained, I'm going to do some mob combat challenges, some cave-in episodes, and that kind of thing. We've done some cave-in episodes when we did the Mesa Mine Shaft and the Cave Spider Trap and all that kind of stuff. But we haven't done a challenge yet. And this is going to be the first episode, and this is kind of like a trial run of a challenge. And this challenge, I actually have it all wrote down in a document, is called the Battleground Challenge. And that's a terrible name, but it's the best I could think of at the time. So the objective of the Battleground Challenge is to survive the entire night. We're going outside, and we're going to go over to the plains where I, in episode 101, did some hunting. Is to survive the night without any deaths. That's the first objective. The second objective is to collect 10 of the following items. So we want to collect 10 rotten flesh, bones, string, and gunpowder. Now, if I get 10 of each of those, then the idea is to keep going until the night is over, because the first objective is to survive the entire night. And we also collect 5 of the following items. Spider eyes. So we also want to collect some spider eyes. I left ender pearls out because endermen could be a bit hit and miss with their spawns and so on and so forth. All the other mobs are pretty common. They spawn more frequently than endermen, so we are going to be going for those. I also didn't include arrows, as you kind of already have arrows and they can get mixed up with the arrows you have, and it could be really hard to count. If at any point I get an infinity bow with just infinity on it, then we will be able to do arrows as well. I'm only allowed to use wooden tools, no enchantments. I'm only allowed to use leather armor, not enchanted. I'm allowed 3 regeneration potions, 3 instant health, 2 potions, and a single strength potion for 8 minutes. I'm allowed to mine and place blocks. I'm allowed to craft more wooden swords only. I'm allowed to use armor or enchanted bows dropped by zombies or skeletons. I'm allowed a stack of food. I chose carrots because it was convenient. That's the food that I have a lot of. And in order to complete the challenge, the required items must be in my inventory after the final monster has burned upon daybreak. Any burned up monster's loot doesn't count towards the objective. Now, if you want to try out this challenge yourself, before we get into it, I will say, first off, that the rules and instructions will be down below in the description, so you can go ahead and have a reference for that, so you don't have to play the video back. And also, I would love to see if you guys are able to record any video responses. Send it to me as a video response. I think they still exist on YouTube. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. And I will approve it, and your video can be attached to this one, so to speak, of your challenge. And this is going to be a trial run. It may not work as intended. It may. I don't know. Beyond collecting the 10 items, it's also designed to get as many items as possible. Is nighttime falling here? It is, so we should probably get moving.